brother, to episode 2.
Thanks. Appreciate having me here.
Resiliency Command podcast. So, what have you been up to lately, man?
Oh, man, I've been training for ADCC, man. We're getting ready to go. We got Lonzo, Santi, Jackson, who we possibly be doing ADCC. But also, I want to give it a shout for thank you, Coach Conrad Duran, for reaching out. Lone Star Barbershop for sponsorship in us. That way we're not paying out of our pocket, that they're paying for us. So we're very grateful for that and taking this opportunity very seriously by having that. So we've been actually fighting for 4 years for a sponsorship. So this is really a big deal for us. So
yeah, and big shout out to Redemption Jiu-Jitsu, where we both train. That's where we go to sharpen our skills. Where I'm, coming back as dusting off my blue belt. I took like 7 years off, for my bachelor's degree and work and life and stuff. Could make excuses, but I'm back now. So lately I've been in kind of a funk, man, trying to find a job that works with my school schedule, because I don't want to just take a job and then have to quit after 2 months. You know what I mean? I want to find something that works with my going to ASU for my master's in coaching and sports administration, which I'm pretty damn excited about that. I had a good interview with the dean over there, Dr. Snow, and she's been helping me out with my application and stuff, making sure that I'm staying on track. She's really nice. She's of all the students, you know what I mean, like she goes out of her way to send an email to me, like every week or two to check in and see how I'm doing, so shout out to Dr. Snow over there at ASU. Appreciate that, all the help. But yeah, man, I've been in kind of a funk, because I've been getting turned down from jobs. They said I was overqualified. It's like you go to college, they tell you to go to college, right? And you do, and then you can't get a job because you don't have enough experience, or else you can't get a job because you have too much experience. It's kind of annoying, but I'm not going to give up. I'm still going for that master's. But one thing I was going to say was going to the gym today, because haven't been going lately, because I've been struggling with my bills. And another big shout out to Redemption, because they're really awesome, man. They're working with me, because I'm a little late, but they're helping me out. So just going today, man, after being in a funk for like a couple weeks, like it really just brought me back, man. Brought my confidence back up, like just made me feel more alive again. And even though I haven't been rolling the last couple weeks, like overall my cardio has gotten better compared to like my first couple of days back. Man, I was gassed so hard I felt like I was gonna have a panic attack. Like I could not take in enough oxygen, dude. Yeah. Pretty scary, for smoking for years and stuff, a lot of years after I got out of the military, and drinking and whatever. It took a toll on me, But yeah, dude, I'm just happy to be back, man. It was nice rolling with you today.
Yeah, man, appreciate it.
It was a good open mat.
Yeah, very good open mat. Plus, even having 3 military guys to be out there with us, and
the Marines, yeah,
even one of those I had a wrestling background to actually roll with, and also with Lenny, and also with Craig, and just everybody. And also thank Coach Conrad and his wife Lindsay for making new tables for Redemption. So yeah, it's a very wonderful job for them to.
Yeah. So if you could explain a little bit about, for those that may not know, who are like kind of new to jiu-jitsu, what ADCC is and how big of a deal that is.
ADCC, it's really like the biggest grappling tournament in the world. It's where like Gordon Ryan goes, Craig Jones, Andrew Tactic, many of those guys that compete at such a high level to like have an opportunity like that, to be like under the stars, the lights, and the cameras, to like see for who they are, like as individuals, and how they dedicate their lives to the sport. So, and it's really special, like to some people, but it's really special to me, because for so long I've been to an elite athlete, even when I was an amateur, like in wrestling, but also with my Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu career. But I always felt like I was one of those guys that, me as an individual that has like a full-time job but still trains jiu-jitsu after I do my long hours, and also compete at these highest events and compete against the best grapplers in the world at the adult division. So it's just really special that I get to compete again for that event like I did last year. I didn't get what I wanted to last year when I was about 22, but now at 23 for this year, it's gonna be exciting to at least compete again, also to prove myself that I can be like one of the top guys, even to work my way up to the trials and to the pro main events.
Yeah, for sure. It's an invitational too, right? Isn't it?
Oh yeah, invitational, sign
Yeah.
up too. But this time, since with our sponsorship, that they're paying for it for this time
Nice.
rather than our pockets. So
Yeah.
I'm just super grateful
Yeah,
for this
that's
opportunity.
awesome, bro. And who was that sponsor again? One more time.
Lone Star Barbershop.
Yeah, Lone Star Barbershop.
hmm
Thanks, guys. So yeah, we got some news too. So we're I think it's gonna, the timing should work out, to where when we go to this, the weekend of the ADCC fight, our jiu-jitsu mats that I'm having made should be ready. They're gonna have our logo on it. They got scripture on it. I felt like that was pretty important because that's something that I'm trying to embrace, like in all aspects of my life. Just the the Word of God and that positive influence, that I need in my life, like, because without the military, without that structure, like something that I was told a long time ago, like before I got married, we had I think he was a pastor, a counselor, like a marriage, like before you get married, you know what I mean, like you take some classes and stuff. And one thing he said, like, he told me, he was joking but he was also kind of serious. He was like, he gave me a little bit of a hard time. He was like, you picked the wrong branch, brother. He's like, you should have gone Marines, because the Marines like incorporate God into their structure, you know what I mean, their curriculum, like when you go through boot camp and stuff, like that's part of their ethos, and the Air Force was very different, the Air Force also didn't incorporate martial arts either, like the Marines do. They have martial arts system, in a rank structure even beyond the military rank. The belts that they wear on their pants, under their blouse, they have a colored belt system. From, I don't know too much about it, but I know they do have a belt system. They have different colored belts that they wear under in their uniform.
Oh yeah, definitely. 'Cause
Yeah.
my stepdad was saying that at the time back
Yeah.
in 2004 when he was in the Marine Corps.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, so yeah, we're gonna be picking up those mats that weekend, or that Friday before the ADCC fights, as long as the mats are ready. But I mean, Dollar Mur, shout out to Dollar Mur for making us some custom mats. We look forward to doing more business with Dollar Mur as we grow as a business. Once we get that government contract, and we open basically like franchises, you know what I mean, like different
definitely.
divisions of the business,
Yeah, which
we'll need more mats, you know what I mean, and I want that logo to be on there, you know what I mean.
definitely. Yeah, that logo, it just means so much, and this is just like, God is just so good to like at least call us to do what we need to do, even if we don't understand it, but it's a sign at the same time, and that we have to act upon it.
Yeah, and so that actually kind of leads me into something that I didn't initially have planned in the podcast, but we're gonna go over it. It was a nice challenge when your mom asked what does the logo mean, you know what I mean, like the symbolism behind it, like the snake and the needle, the caduceus, right? With the wings though,
Yes.
it's been adopted more so in terms of like the commerce of health,
Right.
and so that's because we're trying to make money doing this too, you know what I mean.
Yeah, definitely.
We're going to be giving back to the community as much as possible, but at the same time we got bills to pay, you know what I mean. So I'm just going to go ahead and read our purpose, mission statement, vision statement for you guys right now. So our purpose: to provide mobile jiu-jitsu and wellness training to increase physical and mental resilience. Mission statement: our business is the commerce and command of resilience in ourselves and in those we seek to serve. The premium we charge pays it forward for those that cannot afford training. Our motto: defectum est temporalis, means failure is temporary. And that motto is right there in our logo. It's going to be on the mats. It's actually on my chest already, in the form of a tattoo. And the vision statement, now this is like long term, over the next 10 years. The vision statement, basically, to have global reach in support of military families and anyone who seeks to live a more resilient life, Through AI innovations, we aim to revolutionize jiu-jitsu as a spectator sport and increase the spectrum of opportunities for fighters across a global audience. Additionally, our research into creating a new a crypto coin backed by real-world labor will revolutionize the industry, creating opportunities for all walks of life. I know that seems like pretty wild for a mobile jiu-jitsu and fitness business, but trust me, it does all tie together in some way. Because I like in 2017, I had this vision of teaching a computer. This was way before ChatGPT existed. Of teaching a computer jiu-jitsu, or basically like how to referee and how to commentate on jiu-jitsu matches. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it would be a continual process.
Mm-hmm.
Continuously teaching the machine. So that would be a job itself.
Yes.
As a research lab.
Mm-hmm.
If we got like a government contract or like a grant or something, you know what I mean? Like to teach, ChatGPT or something similar,
Mm-hmm.
or even an AI built from the ground up, the basics of jiu-jitsu and then more advanced, and then, I mean, the economic opportunities there are immense, you know what I mean? Like it says, increasing the opportunities for fighters, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like to turn the average fighter to be able to, they could plug in their social media and be plugged into a global audience, and they could have an AI announcer, you know what I mean? Just like commentating on their open mat, you know what I mean? And as the AI learns more and more and it absorbs more and more, it'll get better at commentating, and with the advances in AI now, we can clone voices, you know what I mean? So maybe we could even license people's voices. Like, I'm sure Joe Rogan wouldn't mind getting another paycheck to license his voice out. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, that would be such
That
a
would be
huge
epic.
paycheck
Yeah,
for him to learn
Yeah,
his voice out.
yeah. So we could charge like an extra premium. You know what I mean? Like with the subscription model, like you pay X amount of dollars per month for like the basic voice model, and if you want the Joe Rogan voice, you got to pay extra for that or something. You know what I mean? And I'm sure he'd be more than willing to be a part of something like that, or because his voice is synonymous with MMA and jiu-jitsu. And the thing with the crypto coin backed by real world labor, that I had envisioned, like, I mean, getting paid to do jiu-jitsu in a way that's like you're getting paid for how much hard work you're putting in, you know what I mean? Like hours of rolling, you know what I mean? It builds up a fraction of a crypto coin.
Right.
Because right now crypto is just wasting electricity, in my opinion, using computers. When we could be putting people to work instead. Like even in a more simpler form, it would be much more complicated to generate, I think, fractions of a coin through jiu-jitsu. But I mean, I think it's possible once we develop the AI model, to do that. You know what I mean? Like submission only matches, dude. Like
that would be
you know what I mean?
High
Like
event to submission only matches, because that's what a lot, like even Fight to Win, that's what they like, the events of submission only matches, because
the match can just go on like no time limit, dude.
No
just
time
like,
limit,
bam.
just whoever has a submission, but also like not only just the lights and the camera, but give them individuals the opportunity to like experience like a much more of their journey and also their highlights to where they were before, and also using the AI to have us on there, and plus and also giving back redemption, like where they've been in life and how they went from nothing to something. And
exactly, giving them the platform, you know what I mean, like so that they don't have to get invited to ADCC, like they can just start, you know what I mean, like and I'm sure in some states like Nevada, you can only imagine the potential for even more income, as people like how they have fantasy football leagues,
right?
Fantasy jiu-jitsu league, you know what I mean? Like there's so many possibilities with it. But on a more basic level, like let's just say like I've got a friend who's homeless. He's a former coworker of mine when I worked at Clovis Veterans Memorial District. in Clovis, California, which is like a living memorial and also like the event center, you know, where people could go do
Yeah,
weddings
yeah,
and like
definitely the event center.
quinceañeras and stuff.
Yeah.
He's a hard worker, man, but you know, he struggles with schizophrenia. It started hitting him. It hit him later in life. It actually, after he quit, like when he around the time that he quit drinking, he started having hallucinations and stuff. So
Oh dang.
it's hard for him. You know, his life actually got harder when he quit drinking. Like it's just funny how struggles go like that. Like, um, but he doesn't have a whole lot of support, like family wise and stuff. You know, as far as like somewhere to live. But I think he got a job at Walmart. But the picture this though, like he's great at riding a bike. Like he was a dedicated man to coming to work. You know what I mean, for the job that didn't pay a whole lot, and it was can't remember if he was full time or part time, but he would ride 10 miles one way to work, and then ride 10 miles home.
Wow.
Yeah, that's dedication, bro.
That is like pure like discipline.
And he wasn't even doing it
dedication.
on like a speed bike. He was doing it on like a cruiser. So you know it was hard to pedal. He had no gears, just one gear.
Mm.
So he's got some legs on him. Now imagine we build a specialized stationary bicycle, and I say specialized because it would have to have, you know, checks and balances so that somebody couldn't cheat it. You know what I mean? Put like an alternator in it. You know what I mean? Like some way to measure the amount of effort exerted,
Mm-hmm.
so that you can't just put it on easy mode and just pedal and just, you know what I mean? Like, because the way I don't know a whole lot about crypto mining, but I do know that the more graphics cards you have,
Mm-hmm.
the more GPUs that you put to work, the faster you're going to generate fractions of a coin. So somebody like Chris, who's a beast on a bicycle, could probably generate a lot more joules than the average person. You know what I mean? So why not put him on a specialized bicycle that has AI integrated? That way it's unbiased,
Mm-hmm.
and it can measure fairly the amount of energy that he's exerting.
Yes, and even
And-
his heart rate though as well.
Yeah, that stuff too. Oh, that's a
Yes,
a good idea. Like,
yeah.
give him points for being healthier as his heart rate comes down over time and stuff.
Mm. And I remember looking back on a old video when Conor McGregor was on this training deal. They want to know where his blood pressure was, to where his electricity and
Yeah.
his body when he was pedaling. So I think that's really important with the AI, is that not only the person just pedaling with the legs, but I think it's important like how much jolts electricity they're doing
Yeah.
with the paddle, but also checking their breathing
Yeah, imagine
and
if he
heart
was
rate.
on what are those called? The salt bikes?
Yeah,
the
the
ones
salt
with the
bikes.
ones where you push with your arms and your legs.
I think that's what it's
Cool.
called, salt bike, but I'm not.
No, assault. It's like
yeah,
assault,
it's
like
assault.
attack. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. It's assault.
Yeah. Yeah, those bikes are nice, man. I always wanted one of those. Hey, you never know. Assault bikes. Drop one on us. All right. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, why are we not investing in our own people? Like almost anybody could do that job. You know what I mean? If they have social problems, they could just live in a studio apartment.
Mm-hmm.
They could just wake up, hop on their bike, and they could even stream and talk about their life story and just like provide entertainment. You know what I mean? People get on Twitch and do random stuff, and they make money doing it.
Right.
Silly ASMR videos, you know?
Yeah.
People rubbing the microphone, some weird stuff. But hey, you know, I'm not judging. If it pays the bills, you know what I mean? As long as it's clean. So some of it's a little sketchy. But anyway, getting sidetracked. That's the ADD. So yeah, man, like we could easily put people to work, and it would be like this huge economic, you know, turnover. So like, and of course, you know, like whoever's in office is going to want to take credit for, you know, but you know, if it's done by a private company, even better, because the government, when you give the government things, they tend to screw it up. So that's why it's in our vision statement, because it's something that we want to do. We want to help the economy, we want to help people get jobs, and we want to create a coin that's backed by something in the real world.
Mm-hmm.
Like who wouldn't be proud to use a coin, a form of currency that literally combats homelessness and people who are difficult to employ? You know what I mean? Like, They use prison labor.
Hmm.
That's a huge market. Prison labor. License plates are made in prisons.
Right.
You could put them to work on bicycles too, and have them generating crypto coin. Then they could send money to their families or whatever. You know what I mean? Rehabilitate them, and then when they get out, they'll have a viable job. They could just continue mining crypto coin on their bicycle or whatever it is. You know what I mean? It could even be like a rowing machine too. You know, it doesn't have to be a bicycle. The possibilities are nearly endless. Um, so yeah, I mean, that's our plan. You know, that's part of the vision statement. Um, which kind of leads me into our next topic, which is how we're gonna get there. So I strongly believe there's and I know a lot of people agree with me that there's a big correlation between physical discipline and mental health. Like they're connected. You know what I mean? Um, like not to say that you have to. Everybody's different. Everybody has different needs, but
Yeah, and plus they're different
Yeah.
individuals, the way how
yeah,
they feel
exactly.
and
People have
emotions.
diagnoses, that I
Mhm.
mean, that are special cases and stuff. Like exercise isn't my be all end all for mental health. I still
Right.
take meds and stuff. You know what I mean, and and whatnot. But one thing that I've always struggled with is you know separating home issues from work, like checking those out at the door. Like I did a pretty good job of that in the military, but getting out of the military, I lost the structure. I lost a lot of things, and it really got hard for me to separate issues, going on at home and stuff. And when I get to work, and working as a production welder didn't leave me a whole lot of time to, do jiu-jitsu, working like 12 hours a day, and with narcolepsy too, it was really hard to work those 12-hour shifts. I'd find myself like getting dangerously tired in a dangerous work environment. You know what I mean? Um, Falling asleep around forklifts and stuff is not good. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh no! It basically, if you're a sick condition though too, which I was on, like even though I might not be done the job like the same like you did, but like when you're feeling sick, even with the cold weather in the winter time,
Oh,
and
yeah.
when you're doing like a structural building, you're trying to put sheets, it's so rough, and
Yeah,
you're
I
just
bet.
like your body's like telling you, but in the working world, the 9 to 5, they don't want you to sleep. They want you to just earn your hour
yeah,
and deserve your keep until you get the check, and then be like, all right, do what you want with it.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, like another reason that I started Resiliency Command and dropped out of cybersecurity school is I was just chasing cyber for the money, and I been doing a lot of praying and soul searching, and came to the realization, like, man, I just got to do what makes me happy. And that last year that I was in the Air Force, when I was a full-time instructor, shout out to Dias Air Force Base, and my commanders over there that blessed me with the opportunity. I volunteered my way into being offered a full-time position. I took over their it's called Back to Basics program, helping the airmen and other service members who were falling below the standard of fitness, and I would get them back up to, and I averaged 91% was the score that people were getting on average after training with me for a couple of months. So I really enjoyed that. It didn't feel like going to work at all, and I was doing the workouts with them too. So like, I was doing at least 3 workouts a day, and then I would go to
Dang.
jiu-jitsu.
That's very impressive.
Yeah, man, I was in really good shape. I was walking around at like 160, 158
Mm.
daily. I was at a good weight. Right now, I'm a little heavy. I'm like 200 plus, about 205 right now. Been coming down a little bit, man. I was like 215 like last year. I was up there, man. But yeah, no, like one thing about jiu-jitsu like that helps me a lot is helps me achieve a higher focus. It like grounds me, you know what I mean? Like obviously it humbles me, you know what I mean, getting my ass kicked all the time. But that's just the way it goes, man. If you don't tap, then you're gonna get jacked.
Sometimes you're the hammer, and sometimes you're the nail.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the way it goes.
Yeah, I love it though, man. It never discourages me, man. When somebody like taps me, it doesn't. it doesn't discourage me, man. Like compared to like other things in life, like when like getting turned down for jobs, like that really hurt. But you know, failure on the mats is not failure to me. It's just learning. It's just a learning process. Um, but yeah, when you're on the mats, there's no room for anything else in your mind. It forces you to be super present in the moment and focused, and you're not thinking about the past. You're not thinking about regrets. You might be thinking about the future, but you're only thinking a couple seconds in the future. Like, what am I about to do? You know, where do I have an opening? Where do I have an opportunity?
It's kind of like it's like an eye opener at the same time too. Like once, like your journey through it, but also like what your future would be.
Yeah.
And it inspires you, and it makes you want to be more disciplined more, and that's what would make your kids look up to you, or like my niece, how she would look up to me when she faced through difficult times. Even me as a high competitor, there's so many times I failed, even at big. That man, it cost me, even for world championship, even for Nogi. It was, I won't, and don't get me wrong, it really hurt me a lot though too.
Yeah.
How much I want to achieve it, but I never said, oh, I'm quitting. But no, I just went back to the drawing board.
Yeah. Heck yeah. Yeah, man. As somebody who's struggled with you know, highs and lows of bipolar and stuff, and the inherent depression that comes along with having narcolepsy, just being tired all the time, you know, like my life really changed a lot when I got on this new medication called Wakix that didn't exist like until like the last couple of years, and it's actually really hard to get on that medication. You have to have tried every other medication before it, and I have, and you know, I haven't had much success with any of them. But with the combination of that and Adderall, it's like I live pretty normal now, and I really don't have the tired spells and like the sleep attacks. Like, I mean, I still get a little crazy like when I get sleepy, you know what I mean? Like with the, it's called like hypnagogic hallucinations. It's basically like when your brain goes into REM while you're awake. You start dreaming while you're awake, so like your brain gets real foggy, and like I'll be in the middle of a conversation in a dream, and I'll say something out loud, you know, like, and if you're around me long enough, like at night, you'll see it happen. Like I'll start mumbling things, or like, you're like, what are you talking about? Like I didn't say anything to you. But yeah. So you know, that's been difficult, you know, but I'm happy to say that, you know, the VA and TRICARE and stuff, you know, they take pretty good care of me, you know, so I'm in a good spot now. Just gotta find something that works with my school schedule, you know, until the business picks up, you know, because it's hard starting a business, you know, like it's a lot of work, you know,
a lot of sacrifice.
Yeah,
too.
a lot of sacrifice for sure. If you've never done it, then you just don't know what you don't know, but it's really hard. It pretty much bankrupted me the first time I tried to do this, but I hadn't been to business school. But, you know, I have since been, you know, I got my bachelor's in management, which is pretty much business management. There's just a few core classes that are different. And then, of course, my minor is in law enforcement because of my Air Force credits, because I was security forces for about 6 years. So, yeah, it's definitely been a journey, man. But I'm not afraid to say that I'm a 10-year blue belt, you know. But I'm not quitting, man. I'll get that black belt one day.
And you know, for me, since you know, I just enjoy the journey as best as I can, just to live the moments. But my ultimate goal, by the time I'm 25, I would definitely be a black belt. Probably be the third youngest black belt to receive a black belt.
It's dope, man. I hope you get there.
Yeah, I would get there. I will cry like a baby, like when I get it. But then at the same time, when I look down, when I tie it, I'll just be like, whoa! Like ever since I was a white belt, I wanted to be a black belt.
Yeah.
And now it's here. It's like same thing with our business though. I cannot wait till we look back like many years from now. We're gonna be like, whoa, we started like at a trailer. Look where we are now. We'll be in a big building site or a big mansion, and but also spread the word. Also, we also want to thank God for
absolutely
the things
man.
He provides for us. Sometimes He puts us in situations, and I know, sorry if I'm getting a little off track on that. That's not part of the podcast, but I think He just puts us in the hard times just to develop us. But is always with us. And I remember my friend Alfred said He's always with you, even in the fire.
Yeah. Even
the harder times, like He's with you. When you may not understand, like, oh, why did this happen? How could this happen to me? Like you said, like, you know, you were bankrupt the first time you're trying to, you know, run it.
Yeah.
And like with the business, yeah, it's pretty hard because I've been around that too ever since I was little. Like, even it wasn't in jiu-jitsu, but it was with construction, and also with my stepfather Joseph Flores on Contra Valley EJ Services, which he's done a phenomenal job after almost 3 years going on. But yeah, it takes a lot of sacrifice, a lot of time. But I still cannot wait till once we get started and like how far we achieve. But we didn't go so far to come this far.
Yeah.
We're going many more,
Yeah.
and I cannot wait to actually to tell to Winnie when if she ever wants to go to college, then I would just help her with that when I didn't have anybody or had the opportunity to go. But I would literally would help her, and also I would tell her, I said, don't lose your relationship with God.
I mean, if you got a purple belt though, man, you pretty much already got like a bachelor's degree in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
You know
that.
what I mean? It takes a lot to get a purple belt. It's a hard belt to get. Like a lot of people quit at blue, you know, and I didn't quit like on purpose. Like, you know, I just let myself get in the way. You know what I mean? I never like, in my heart, I never gave up on jiu-jitsu, but I just like, I don't know, man. I've had a lot of like money problems and relationship problems and, you know, mental health problems. Like 2020 was a real dark year, you know, but I had to play guinea pig, you know, until I found the right combo of medication, you know, and stuff. And now like that big missing piece, I think, was definitely just seeking God and being open to God, and you know, that's helped a lot. But yeah, so I mean, part of how we're gonna get there is with metrics, with providing proof that our training is actually beneficial to people, to their wellness, you know what I mean, to their health, you know, physical and mental. Now, with that, we have to provide the disclaimer that we're not doctors. We're not here to diagnose anything, and there's certain things that we can't help treat. Like,
Yeah, definitely.
we're here to work in conjunction with healthcare professionals.
Yes, sir.
And that's why we're super blessed to have, and this was just by chance actually, that I found Ashley Allwine
Yes.
through LinkedIn. I had no idea she was affiliated with Redemption. But when I reached out to her and she saw that I said I was training at Redemption, I think that's really what like sparked her to be willing to help us out. And
Yeah,
and
we just feel Ashley, to all of her husband Andrew, to help us out. We just feel very grateful.
yeah, so shout out to y'all. Thank
Shout out
you
to
very
y'all.
much
Thank you.
for taking the time to meet with us at Marshall Pint. Shout out to Marshall Pint as
Marshall
well.
Pint, Zach.
Yep.
We shout out to your bar at Marshall Pint. So
Yep.
anyone who has not been there, please go there.
Yep, San
And
Angelo,
AKA
Texas.
they have karaoke nights there. They got great food. They got
Oh,
great
yeah.
drinks, not just alcohol drinks. They got Gatorade, sodas, energy drinks.
Oh, and you gotta have the pretzels, man.
Yes,
the
the
pretzels. The
pretzels.
pretzels with that beer cheese. My kids love it. It's fire. So yeah, we had a good meeting with her, and she's gonna help us with the intake process. She helped us. So we're still, of course, we're still panning out a lot of things. You know, we're still planning a lot of things, developing the curriculum itself, and the different packages that we're going to be offering, because we have to put a number and a price tag on each of the packages, the training packages, and then we also have to develop what our free seminars are going to look like, the
Oh, yeah,
curriculum for
absolutely.
that as well, and the different age groups. You know what I mean? And the different, you know, different stuff that we're going to be offering. But basically what she helped us with was just coming up with a basic plan, you know, like of how she's going to help. So what she's doing for us right now is she's working on the intake questionnaire. And before I get too far into talking about this, her specialty is applied behavior analysis, and she's board certified. And so yeah, we're gonna help with. We're trying to find, you know, the right wording for it, you know, because we're still working on it. But basically, wellness through behavior modification, and that does not mean that we're going to be electrocuting anybody.
Yeah, no.
Because she
Definitely
said
not
there's
electrocuting.
she said there's a negative connotation with behavior modification. You know, people think of like I guess there's a Netflix documentary about it.
Yes, I watched it, and
Yeah.
it was really sad in my mind, like how they would shock people,
Yeah.
and then it would solve it. But now, but with our business, we just want to prove there's another way to like, help prevent.
Like she said, a holistic approach.
Yes, holistic approach.
Holistic approach to helping with behavior modification. Again, not treating or not diagnosing anything, and not treating certain conditions too. You know what I mean? Like we're not equipped to help somebody with schizophrenia or like severe bipolar or like whatever, like specifically. Like we can help replace, you know, bad habits. Like again, we're not claiming to be rehab, but there are many people who have replaced bad habits with jujitsu. You know what I mean? Like, and the naysayers will be like, yeah, you're just replacing one addiction with another. But if it's a healthy addiction, how is that bad?
Yeah. Exactly.
How is that a bad thing?
Yeah.
That you're improving yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're working on yourself. Like jiu-jitsu is a total body workout. You use like every muscle you have.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I mean, it starts like from the legs, to your core, to
lots
your
of
upper
core.
body, a lot. Oh yeah, lots of core. But also, it's the agility and the flexibility, and it trains your brain like for me, for example, like for myself, it's like my brain, it's functioning in my brain saying, okay, what to do. I move this way.
Yeah.
Don't move this way. Like it's basically, it shows the technical, but also the strategy and the strength and the agility and the flexibility all conquered together. How you use between your work ethic and how your training is, and how you prevent, even with your diet as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and one thing I love about it is that it incentivizes you to want to improve. Like it gives you a tangible reason. Like, you know, I've always wanted to do the splits. You know what I mean? So,
I always want to do splits too. But
yeah, like
I have not been successful so far.
Yeah, no, I'm actually gonna start doing some more research on some YouTube videos and start incorporating some more advanced stretching into my routines. Because I've got like this little stretching routine video that I put out, and I'll probably re-release it because it sort of got lost in the wind, I think. Because I had planned on doing it through a emailing list, but sort of having some problems with the website at the moment because I was going through ClickFunnels, but I don't want to pay $200 a month to ClickFunnels because that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So I've got to rework access to my website. I do own the domain Resiliency Command, but primarily I'm just operating from Facebook and Instagram right now, and YouTube, of course, and Spotify.
Yeah.
But yeah, I kind of lost what I was saying about incentivizing.
Yeah, it's about incentivizing, and then we were talking about like what Ashley provided for us.
Oh yeah. But yeah, we'll get back to talking about, you know, what she helped us out with. So basically, just like you know, we'll get that a release of information. You know what I mean? So like we can coordinate even with you know, like with their doctor or whatever. Like that way, like we don't get in trouble for you know, handling like HIPAA information and stuff like that. You know, we'll have that release signed. Another one of our goals, we gotta come up with a good waiver, you know, for liability purposes. And that's, you know, that's another big reason that I formed the LLC, you know, is for liability reasons, you know, so people can't come after our personal assets should something happen, you know what I mean? But I don't ever plan on doing very much one-on-one training.
Yes.
I prefer to have 2 instructors.
Yes.
And, you know, as we advance, you know what I mean? Like, someday if we get that truck, that military truck, you know, I'm going to equip that sucker with cameras and, you know what I mean, record all the sessions, you know, for liability reasons and for feedback.
Yes, sir.
So we can show people how they've been improving. Like we can show them, like we can, you know, send them little clips, you know what I mean? And be like, hey, look at your technique, you know, look how your technique has developed from, you know, day 1 to now, you know what I mean? So that's something we could also offer in the future.
Even with years down the road, we can like look back on the clips to
Yeah.
where look how you were from
Yeah.
day 1. Here you are so how long, so long, like
Yeah.
for until they're like advanced, but they're like, whoa, like
Yeah.
I never thought I'd be here this far, like.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So we're looking at about 40 minutes right now, if you can believe that. It's been kind of a we're flying a little off the cuff, you know, in some parts, but really to anyone who's listening right now, we just want to say thank you for supporting us.
Yeah, thank you all so much for supporting
Yeah.
Travis and I, and also we're still in the process, but this will happen. So
Yeah.
you'll see it pretty soon.
Yeah, we're
than
doing
you
it.
realize, So
Piece by piece, we're putting it all together, you know what I mean? So next step, like I said, is we got to really start getting down to the nitty-gritty and developing the curriculum. But you know, we've got a lot of people that we know that are willing to help us out. You know, a lot of black belts and stuff. It's funny the way the world works, you know, how sometimes it can be a really small world. Like Coach Conrad,
mm-hmm.
he was a blue belt back when I started in 2014
Yes.
at Zombie in Abilene. So big shout out to Zombie, because that's where I started my jiu-jitsu journey, you know, Coach Caesar and Coach Tanchi.
I also want to give them shout out them too for helping part of Redemption, and also for our Coach Conrad to invite us over there. Boy, they're such a great people and give us so many technique advice. And also I just love hearing the story, like how Coach Conrad started, like where he had to like drive at least, if it was 3 or 4 days a week, to like just drive an hour to train.
Yeah.
That is such, I don't, it's
Yeah.
just at the same time, like motivation, I love when he says motivation comes and goes, but also it gives me that drive though too, and that discipline to go where your coach started from when he started down the bottom before anything else happened throughout the future.
Yeah.
It's just the love and give the feedback to the people that helped you out along
Yeah.
the way, and where he is as a head coach. Also for him as an individual, him as like a husband, and also a friend, a brother, and also like he may be like 9 years older than me. I see him as my big brother, but
Yeah.
you know, but no, shoot, big shout out to Zombie and Redemption, and also to everyone that's supporting us. That we're very grateful and God on our side, and that this will definitely happen. But piece by piece,
Yeah.
getting all this stuff together, and sooner or later, I think in probably a year down the road, y'all will see us like filming. And also by next one we will definitely film once we get more success to film where we came from to where we are now.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
the ultimate goal.
Yeah, definitely. All right, brother. Well, it's been a good episode. Thanks
episode,
for coming on, man.
Thanks to you.
Yeah. All right, y'all. And until next time,
All right,
Travis,
just the
signing
Joe
out.
Contreras
see you later.
on the next one.